Listen.
Yo.
Welcome to PBZ TV, the show where we talk about the culture, movies, TV, games, sports, headlines of all sorts, and we're back today during the NBA Finals. It's the middle of it.
Yeah, we just finished game 2.
Game 2, 2-0.
Knicks, baby, let's go!
Oh, it's crazy.
It is, man.
I just shouted really loud, but it's crazy.
They deserve it. You know, I have a prediction that's stuck on the channel. Unfortunately, that is Wemby, winning the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's not really that far away, is it?
You know what? I'm not even mad that it's not going to come true.
Good.
Now, if they came back from 2-0, I mean, talk about generational because it's like never happened. I'm pretty sure from what you said.
Yeah,
like,
I saw a stat the other day. So a team that has been 2-0 up away from home has never lost. It's only happened twice. So that happened in '93 with the Charles Barkley's Phoenix Suns, and obviously against the Bulls, and it happened in 1995 Magic versus the Rockets, which obviously the Rockets swept the Magic 4-0.
Yeah.
So this is the third time it's ever happened at all, and no one's ever come back. So
I do think this series will end up being competitive. Like the Spurs will have to get one.
Go into Madison Square Garden.
I think they'll get 2.
Madison Square Garden.
I think it'll be Knicks in 6 personally.
Yeah.
Because every game's been really close.
Is it because it rhymes? Is that why you want to believe that? It has been close. Well, no, the first game was nearly 20 points, wasn't it? From what I recall. This is
maybe, but I know there was a big comeback involved in both Knicks games.
Yeah, there definitely was.
The
The last
Spurs were
one.
up in both games, and especially this last one came down to the wire, and it was a Spurs mistake that really fumbled a bag. So
right at the end.
That's why I think it will at least get a little bit spicy. They might go 2-1, maybe even 2-2, but then the Knicks will still win, in my opinion.
Well,
or it could still be a clean sweep because the momentum. I mean, 13 wins in a row. It's like, when has that ever happened?
Only one team's ever done better, and that was the 2017 Warriors with Kevin Durant.
I mean, and that's like arguably the greatest team of all time.
Exactly.
So, what a run New York's on.
This is the Knicks.
It's just pure joy right now.
And I saw Kenny Smith or something said, does that mean the Hawks are like the second best team because they got some games off the Knicks in this playoffs? Like they managed to actually beat them.
Well, it's a good point, but maybe it's a matchups point because this is, I've been seeing a lot of talk online about the fact that this all comes down to matchups. So if you look at the regular season record between the Knicks and the Spurs,
you said this.
It's like 4-1 to the Knicks. So they've basically had their number all season. Now I'm not sure if Wemby was playing in all of those games, what circumstances were, so on and so forth, but it's clearly being replicated now. And you can tell they have just a really good way of getting around the wall of Wemby. Like the ball movement from the Knicks is brilliant. The actual team play from the Knicks is brilliant. Their synergy is awesome. And I think they're gonna win and usher in a new age of chemistry-focused basketball.
Yeah, because like I said, a few of them won the college chip together, didn't they? So it's already they've got the chemistry.
The dream team.
They just pulled the pieces together. They're like, well, look, these kids did it in college together. Let's put them together in the NBA now.
Listen, Sassy Cat and Captain Clutch have this in the bag.
But even the other pieces like Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges, they're just. And OG, man. OG is unreal.
Yeah. They're having a blast too.
He's such a great two-way player as well.
Genuinely having fun doing it. And you can't help but root for him, folks. Like, I mean, it does feel a little bit underdoggy because were they in anyone's top 5 when this playoffs began in terms of who's going to win? Because it's been so long, I don't think people can even think of the Knicks winning. They might have been in some people's.
Well, I looked back at our predictions episode and we actually had them going out against the Celtics, I believe. Not the first round. We hadn't beaten the Hawks, but you had them
because the C's were really strong.
Yeah,
like, they were the top teams in the East. They just got what's his face back, Tatum back, and it was like, well, they're going to be even stronger now. But I think that became a chemistry issue, and I think there's obvious beef in the team between Jaylen Brown. I'm not sure with Tatum exactly. I think it's more with the team than the club. But
well, the first game was 10 points. So I just managed to get that
But
after watching an ad.
Watch what happened after the initial, like, oh my God, they did it after the Knicks win. Watch the turnaround be, well, it was probably the easiest run in NBA history because they had like a messed up Celtics and they had this and that. Guarantee you that'll be the narrative. They'll be like, oh, they got to just walk into the
But they clean swept the 76ers with, when they were actually, because who did they beat? They beat someone quite good in the first round as well. Oh my God. This is where I'm like,
if they were that good, do we remember? No.
But they did, I think it went to game 7, I believe, right? And it was like really tight.
Was it Detroit?
No, Detroit beat Magic, didn't they?
Yeah.
Come on, guys, help us out here a little bit in the chat. Come on.
I mean, for me,
tell us we're idiots. Wait.
To me, it doesn't even matter. I think that'll be the narrative anyway, because someone will poke holes in something.
There's
They're
always
paid
a
to be
narrative.
Contrarians, right?
There's always a narrative of anything that ever happens there.
And Skip's going to be there. Skip's going to be there loving to make this bad for Stephen A. Stephen A's going to be like having the happiest man in the world.
Well, it's their two teams. It's their two teams, really, isn't it? Well.
Yeah, he loves his Spurs.
Yeah, and then obviously Stephen A's a Nickelbacker. So I picked the Knicks when I first got into basketball back in 2011. I didn't know really. When you
went
first
to New York and came back in orange and blue.
Yeah, I was like, well, this is my team now, I guess, because I'm a bit old school with that. Like, once you pick, you pick. There's no changing like you. I'm
loyal to one man.
But I was like, are these guys good? And like
crickets.
Not.
To be fair, at the time you picked them,
it was actually
popping.
Yeah.
That was Melo's prime New York years.
Yeah, Linsanity as well.
Yeah, Linsanity. Like, so it wasn't a bad pick at the time.
Shumpert had,
and then we had a little slump for like another decade now, but we came back now. Yeah. This is what's called playing the long game, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, since the 70s, right? So this is literally
it's huge. It is
60 years, no, 50 years in the making.
It's like 56, 58 years or something since they won, so it's pretty insane. And it's I can't remember since 99 since they've been in the finals.
Well, I did see a debate, would this make Jalen Brunson the best Knicks player of all time?
Yeah.
But then the debate was that obviously they won 2 in the 70s with the same team.
Yeah, but who the fuck knows who played in the 70s, bro?
Yeah, but then
to me the 70s doesn't even count as an
era.
What's
the cut-off?
80s onwards, mate. I'm sorry, if you played in the 70s, you were playing against a guy who was like fucking shooting dice out back and goes to his second job afterwards.
You had Kareem. Oh my God.
There's one.
Yeah. But you had Kareem as well.
Kareem was there. Wilt was probably there, I'm sure.
Well, you had Wilt, of course. You had Bill Russell. Like the 60s spanned over to the 70s, of course.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying. Like,
that's like still keeping George Best in your top 5 footballers of all time.
Yeah,
you can't really do it anymore. Like I guarantee you, a normal two-way player is outpacing almost 9% of the 70s league. It's just the way it's happening.
So are you saying that there's cut-offs? Will 10 years from now the 80s be irrelevant? Do you know what I mean? Because it's just, and then the 90s after that, and then etc. Right?
We'll have to see in our lifetime at what point we think a sport has genuinely peaked, because every year we see better and better athletes, more freak athletes, right? The thought of a Wemby before he came up was a fantasy. You couldn't even make him on 2K, right? So there's that. The thought of a LeBron James before like 03 was just like, what do you mean someone that can play all 5 positions and run the fastest, jump the fastest? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
These people will just keep coming, right? It took a Michael to break through the 80s. Like, he's floating, bro. They'd never seen it. They called him his airness, for God's sake. And he had a fairly standard vert for some of the athletes in the league now. I'm very sure Anthony Edwards has the same vert as Michael. And like, you got Nate Robinson. Who thought Nate Robinson was real, right? Muggsy Bogues back then. Everyone breaks some kind of like normality. And at some point, when does humanity stop peaking? You know, that's like more of maybe a biological question.
Well, it depends what they're cooking up in these labs, bro. I don't know. But I did actually see a video about a few years back, I think, remember it now actually quite vividly, that there is a cap, especially in like Olympic sports with like sprinters and stuff. You know, you got Usain Bolt coming along as a freak of nature.
He's definitely the bar.
But before that, there was years between any like him breaking that, and still since then, it doesn't happen as often as you think.
Do you think when generational players break through, they usher in a new era of generational players after?
I don't know. Do you think it's the money as well?
Different.
Think about the money in basketball, the money in football, the money in some of these sports. The investments there, then there's the global platform that more people want to get involved, so you get more freaks of nature coming into it.
Because that's another thing as well.
Why does anyone want to go
70s basketball compared to now? It's like whole world versus US, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's just more to pick from.
But why would you want to go be a sprinter? Like, I don't, unless you are Usain Bolt
'cause
levels.
you really can't make that much money from it.
So what's the
compared to
point,
another
really,
sport.
like pushing yourself to? I can't imagine. I don't know. Let's just say Wemby's. I don't know. Is a really bad example, but like if he really,
well, he'd be really
trained-
good at volleyball.
But yeah, exactly.
Isn't it
Like, there's
running it?
different things that people can go into.
Yeah.
I saw the other day actually. Rafa Nadal could have been one of the best football players of that generation. But he chose tennis. Do you know what I mean? It's like what path you go down.
It's interesting because some sports you can make so much money, but only if you are literally the top 0.1%. So like golf, tennis, F1, like they can be unbelievable. Like some even more than like NBA. Baseball, another one where you could either be like you can make a normal salary or you can make 700 million like Shohei Ohtani. It doesn't. There's the gaps between it, but like getting into the NBA. It's like even on the lowest contracts, it's still pretty much life changing for anyone.
Yeah.
So, I can see why there's
Salary
more
of, like,
incentives to be
$1 million.
Yeah, and what's Premier League football minimums?
I reckon if you're like a third choice goalkeeper, never plays, probably still on like 20 grand a week at least.
Yeah, so it's mental. So maybe it will be a Moneyball thing. Just the more money you see in sports, that sport will always be bigger. And is that, do you reckon, always been the case?
So you think? So our point is that the more money that's involved in a sport, the more genetic freaks you're going to see because they keep scouting.
Yeah,
keep
they're potentially
the technology, the sports psychology, like everything.
Yeah,
just
because like I saw the NFL the other day drafted some guy from Nigeria, I think. Never played a day of American football in his life, but his physical stats were maxed. He was off the chain compared to anything they've seen. They're like, listen, you don't need to know shit. Put that uniform on and fucking run into that guy.
I'm telling you now, though, if they had, like, I don't know, they put all these, they invested heavily in Africa and they put, facilities there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, some of the.
I think that's what there is NBA Africa. I think this is starting to happen more and more. So I think as the talent pool expands to those places that we're like not really used to picking people from, it's going to be mad. So I think the ceiling can still go higher.
Because that's the same with anything. Like, any winter sports are obviously going to be more popular in countries where it's always snowing, and they're going to have the facilities there to do it, and then they're going to have the people there to do it. And it's the same anywhere. You don't have that in Africa. You probably don't have that in some other countries in South America, etc. Right? Well, I don't know. Even Brazil, right? You get some of the best ballers in the world because they just play in the streets in their bare feet.
Yeah. I find people like the Brazilian, like just casual kickabout insane. I catch a couple of clips the other day. And I was like, wow.
That's their get out of the hood sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
and just imagine like how good the average Brazilian kid is versus how good the average English kid is probably. But the thing is, I suppose, because they play alone for so long, could that actually affect them in a team dynamic?
Yeah, maybe.
So there's lots of nuances there, I suppose. But I think the floor can still be risen because the talent pool's wider. There's more places we haven't been. But I think there's always going to be one generational person that kind of breaks the floodgates open.
Yeah.
I remember seeing an example from another podcast ages ago where it was someone talking about the Russian style of wrestling versus the US style. The US essentially have one generational prodigy that comes up and just smashes everyone, and they get them to train to max 24/7. But the Russians essentially, and the Kazakhstani guys and all that, just essentially like train more often but less intensely.
With each other as well.
And with each other, and then like all of them have titles between them. And they're like the consistent winners, as opposed to one generational talent above them all, when they're just consistent winners. So different philosophies as well can bring up different things.
True.
So I think another interesting thing we'll see is the European styles of sports versus US style sports and so on and so forth. Like how long until the majority of like, let's say one team is made up of European players? So
well, you're starting to see that already, right?
Yeah, but imagine there's like 90% of the roster. Like when are we going to see a starting five that's all European? Which is then going to completely throw off the style of the all-US team over here, right? That must be really weird. And that's the Olympics is getting more competitive as well.
Yeah, I genuinely think I actually think basketball could be up there with football from a global point of view. Just from the
cultural impact, it definitely is. Because especially like with how it's merged with hip hop and fashion, it's definitely like kicked its way in there.
It's a similar game as well in the sense of it. It's basically there's a goal
Yeah,
here.
they're easy enough to pick up.
It's a bit like hockey. It's quite similar. Like American
hockey
football
requires the facilities. American football requires a much bigger field. Like when a sport's lower barrier to entry, you're winning.
Exactly. Like it's not a racket sport. It's not an egg-shaped ball. It's just a bouncy ball that you can either kick or you can throw.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially the same thing.
It's the same idea.
Put that ball in that basket, put that ball in that goal. One's up there, the other's down there.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm trying to say is that if it does become even more globally accepted, you're going to see so many more talented Europeans, Africans, Asians, South America. Also, it's not just going to be these Americans.
The Trump NBA fans.
I do think, though, that obviously, height is a major factor within basketball. Obviously, you've got anomalies both massively and the other way. And I think it does come down to, America, the average height for the basketball.
I think they're taller on average in a lot of countries, aren't they?
But then you've got to think would you say that African men are probably the most, on average, tallest?
It depends on where you go, because obviously Africa's so big. I think it's like a certain place in Sudan where the average height is like 6'6".
Do you know what I mean? So,
but there's other places where it's the same as European average. So I don't.
Is it though? I've never been to. I've been to Sweden, but I've not seen 6'6" on average people walking around.
Well, I would have thought Sweden would be like full of Viking-looking people. No.
Yeah, true, maybe.
But then again, I'm not walking around everywhere going, let me analyse the height of every man. Yes. Men here.
Why I thought that was a common practice, bro. Just
guilty.
You look like a tall gentleman.
Ball inspection.
What's the weather? What's the weather like up there?
Raining. But yeah, in general, I think we're going to hit a cap at some point. But I think it would be much later in our lifetime. If not, we may not even see it.
We're going to have robots playing soon.
I think we're more likely to see full robot leagues of existing sports before we hit humanity's capacity for evolution in sport.
But with that, you don't have any differences. You probably have all 6'6" robots doing the same. Able to do everything.
It's real steel then, isn't it? Because everyone's going to make different style robots to counter the other ones. Unless the rules are like everyone has to use the same robot, which is boring as fuck.
Well, like an F1 car, like they're all just the same.
I reckon they'll have rules, but they'll all be built different.
Oh, okay,
because it's like F1.
Yeah, then they are built different, and then it's the driver or the operator.
It's like you can't put a machine gun in it, but you can have a flamethrower.
But I don't think it would be football, basketball. I don't think it would anything.
Nah, it's going to go combat sports.
Or something really like a racing sport, maybe.
Yeah. I'm surprised there isn't like a racing league that is basically F1 sized, but without a driver in the cockpit. It's just remote control car racing.
Why would you want to see that though?
Fuck knows, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'm just surprised it doesn't exist because like that means you could go faster because no one's life's at risk.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon they could go that much faster?
If you could make an F1 car drive itself, you could just take the maddest risk going.
Well, what's the point? You might as well just put it on the track and then have like the hare chasing it.
What? I'm talking about like everyone's. You know how
okay,
got
so who's controlling
point of view goggles?
Who's controlling?
So like it would be like a driver. Like so, there'd be a driver.
External driver.
Yeah, it'd be like the drone pilots have the point of view thing, and they fly and they do this mad courses. Which, if you've never seen that, it's actually insane. The skill level it must take to do that. Yeah. But I reckon that would go into like plane racing and car racing and boat racing because they can do drastic shit without risk of having to risk their lives. Well, so like overtakes and pitting people and fucking going over ramps. Like you could make it all that shit. You could mix F1 with like the crazy jumps from freaking monster trucks. And you don't have to worry about anyone's life at stake.
Well, they'd be basically playing so you could have like Lando Norris, you could have like all these guys. Oh my god, I forgot them all now.
Yeah,
Lewis Hamilton, everyone, right? Yeah, just in a box playing like I don't know.
Yeah, because no one's
driving simulator.
No one's sat there going looking at them in the box. They're only looking at what the cars are doing.
But they're doing what they would have done in the driver's seat. But they can go
way further than they ever would.
But then there's got to be something that doesn't go that far that they don't have to risk that. Because at the minute, you're telling me that they don't go as fast because they're scared to
Yeah, they want to live.
They're pushing themselves.
And there's
at the
rules
limit
of racing as well. I'm imagining like a new league pops up that removes all the rules and acts a little bit more like Crash Tag Team Racing, where they're just doing mad shit.
I just want to see GTA races.
Kind of. Like, imagine if they built, right, and this is literally an idea from Crash Tag Team Racing. Imagine there's one like R2D2 controller who like chucks shit at the other car or like has flamethrowers at the other car, and someone else who drives the car on a track that's like rally/F1 or something, where there's jumps, you can try and fucking blow someone else's car up, whoever wins. And you could do that without risking anyone's life.
That's too
fucking
much.
Cinema. I would watch that.
Yeah, but how many times can you do that without your wasting resources?
Oh, it's a massive waste of resources.
Exactly.
But we're doing it anyway.
But we're doing it. How did we get here?
I don't know. But you know what? That's not. But I think there'll be something robot. Maybe there won't be as much destruction. But I could see it happening, because isn't there like a famous from Alonso that was like when he was racing? I'm not sure if it was Schumacher or someone else. And he's like, "Well, I knew he would break. He has a wife and kids at home. I don't, so I just fucking went for it.
Just played chicken with him."
Yeah, that's few and far between, and not everyone wants to do that, because one wrong move in F1 in less than a second, you're dead.
Yeah, it is insane. I don't understand why anybody would want to do that. Really.
Scary stuff, mate, and it's hard to get into as well. You've got to start go-karting for years before you ever get in, like putting an F3, let alone anything else.
Yeah.
It's weird to think you have to be an F1 driver, you start in go-karts.
Well, you got to start somewhere. Where else are you going to start?
But yeah, it's just like you don't connect the vehicles. You don't connect a go-kart to an F1. But realistically, the way if you ever thought your child would be a potential F1 driver is to get him down to a local go-karting track and get him zooming.
Yeah, true. This is going to go off topic a little bit. Not that massively.
Not that we ever have them.
No. Do you remember like growing up and watching like, there's American races where they create a car. No, like for like.
Create
like
a car?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like rally, derby races or something.
Oh, where they like hash their own one together. And
have you ever seen like Little Rascals where they basically create their own car, or like I'm pretty sure there was an episode of Dexter's Laboratory where he built his own. There's a South Park one. It was like
potentially,
you basically start at the hill, you build your own.
Are you talking about the ones where there's no engine in it? They're all just going down a hill. Soapbox. Soapbox racing. I think that's what it's called. Yeah,
but like kids and their dad would do it. I don't know. I've only seen that on.
Yeah. It's not a thing over here, but yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You just want to do that here?
Yeah, I just want to see it more. Like, why can't
I'm pretty sure we could. We got hills.
We got loads of hills,
mate.
Why have we not ever stolen that from them?
Fuck knows. We probably do. There's probably a community shouting at us going, we're here, we're doing it.
Yeah, we want more traction. It was an advert for you guys.
Put robots in there.
Nah, like good old father-son, or father whoever.
I want you to put your children at risk.
That's what they did. They built like a bin and then put it on, a car hole in it, and then they make it go a bit faster. But there's rules and stuff, isn't there? So
paint it red, go faster. Brum brum.
Derby, is it Derby? Something? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's called soapbox racing. Because that's what it is in Cool Runnings. Do you remember when he puts his soapbox together?
Oh, yeah, that's technically that, really, isn't it? But that's more. I don't think you're supposed to control it. You just
So you just push yourself down the hill with no brakes or control. Yeah, I'm dead ass convinced that there's like little bike handles or something.
Maybe handles, but I don't know about
brakes.
I don't know about brakes.
What's the
point? Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. I want to see it. Bring it back. It just feels like a 90s thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to bring in more. This is going to be the Unk cast right now. I was about to say we need to bring more 90s things back.
Well, when we say 90s, we don't remember it.
No, we just saw it on cartoons and went, I wish that could be me.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. Like, cool.
That's the existence of outside of the US kid watching US cartoons.
Yeah.
Just all the things that they get to do that we don't.
I reckon we did. Anyway, who's winning the NBA Finals?
We've established it's the Knicks.
It's the Knicks, yeah?
Yeah. For me, it's Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6. I think it's a clean sweep, bro. I generally do.
I hope. Oh my god!
I
hope it does and it doesn't, because one day I did want to visit New York. It might not be there if they sweep them in 4. Holy crap!
Yeah, the scenes are incredible.
I could visit it in 3 years' time, and there'll still be broomsticks on the streets and never been cleared up.
Little things just saying 2026 champions.
And they'll call it the night of the broom, and it'll just be nothing but fucked up streets.
Nothing left.
I genuinely hope they don't actually mess up too much of the city, because it's going to become like a big political football issue.
Well, it happened in Paris when PSG recently just beat Arsenal.
They celebrated hard.
Yeah, the Parisians just went, we are, whatever happens, lose or win, we are destroying this city.
Second revolution!
Well, yeah, and it seems like that's the same vibe in New York, but it seems like a vibe, let's be honest. If you were there, it's so good.
I'm dead ass. Like, I'm like, should I just like spend all my money just to go to New York for the celebration?
Just so you could be on that mic. Go on, what would you say? They put a mic to you right now. You're getting clipped into one of these.
Jalen Brunson, you can fuck my wife. Just straight up, have my fucking children. And I'll be doing a fake New York accent the whole time until someone spots me.
Yeah.
They're like, get him. Like, I'm sorry, gentlemen, I'm sorry.
Yeah. One of you, I swear. Let's fucking go, guys.
I feel like it would just be like mob mentality. You get whipped up in it, you know.
Oh, mate. I already am. Just watching.
Yeah, I'm hyped. Every time I watch them reels, like street talks, I'm like,
start spreading
the news every time. Such good edits.
Oh, it's so good. And I generally think they will sweep, though. Just because they're such... I don't know, it's momentum, the good chemistry, the team.
It's everything.
Everything's going for them. I watched that last game. I stayed up. And they were down like a bit, but then they came back and they were 20 points nearly ahead. And then Wemby was like, did like some pep talk and basically
what's
got the
scary
back.
about the Knicks is once they get momentum, it's like you can't stop them. It's like some kind of spiritual will powers them forward. And like I can see how another team, because it would put another team in a panic. Once they start building momentum, and then imagine what's going to be like at home when they get that momentum.
That's why I don't understand. That's why.
It will be deafening, right? And they've got the momentum. Like you feel like you're overstimulated. Like,
they had like a quarter of the stadium of Knicks fans in San Antonio. So now imagine it in Madison Square Garden, bro.
It's going to be like getting flashbanged every 2 points.
Yeah, when we just looks up and it's just...
But
it's just lights
it's going to be like getting mugged, I reckon. We can go to
Is he safe going there?
Yeah. The New York Knicks wouldn't hurt him, man. He's not Trae Young. He's fine.
I don't know. If he comes in the way of that precious championship, if he takes that second game, the fourth game, sorry.
I'm pretty sure security will be high anyway.
Yeah, true.
Like,
I want to manifest.
But I think the thing we'd have to watch for truly is say Wemby does lose this series, which I think he will. What kind of demon are we creating? Yeah,
let's talk about that actually, because what demon? But he's got to the finals. I think it was like
he's pulled a Bron.
No, because Bron. Oh yeah, sorry. If he wins though, he won like 6 years before LeBron and 5 or 6 before Michael as well.
Generational, yeah.
So
especially if he pulled off a 2-0 comeback in the final, something that's never been done, let alone for his age, never been done. It'd be the Wemby show for the next decade, unless he got injured. Yeah,
that's the thing as well. Do we want that to happen? Would this ruin his legacy?
If we think he's insane for losing that one international championship against Chet way back then, imagine what he's going to be like with this.
Carl Anthony Towns is not safe, is he? Let's be honest. Like going forward,
especially, do you remember how much skinnier he was in his past year? Who? In Wemby. Do you remember how we were like, oh my god, look at him, he's fucking ripped, right?
Yeah.
He's still nowhere near the potential he could be.
No.
So imagine if he puts just the same amount of bulk on he did from the last season.
Yeah.
He's going to come out looking like Giannis.
Yeah, but will that hinder his movement a little bit?
I don't know. But whatever he's going to do in the off season, he's going to be doing it mad.
Yeah, he's got to go again. He shouldn't be there this early anyway. This is incredible for that they've even got this far.
If anyone tries to pin like losses on, like, yes, he made a pretty bad blunder last game with that pass, but like,
I think it is good for the NBA as well if the Knicks win. One, because I think if the Spurs win, it's still good, but I think they go on to be another dynasty, or maybe they bow out with San Antonio.
Well, that's the thing.
OKC a little bit more.
I don't think the Spurs make it through OKC if they had their second and third best player back on the court. I think all this changed. Like, J-Dub wasn't there. I think it was someone else of their main starting force was actually injured during that series against the Spurs.
But is it the first time in NBA history that 8 different teams will go back to win a championship? Because obviously in the 80s you only had I think it's the Celtics and the Lakers won 7 or 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
and then in the 90s it was the Bulls
dynasty.
And then the same in the 2000s, it was the Spurs or the Lakers, and then 2010s it was the Warriors or the Heat. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not entirely sure about the East, but next year come the West, unless there's drastic personnel changes, every playoff's going to be a bloodbath, and we're not going to know what's going to happen. If this playoffs has taught me anything, it's that I don't know shit. Well, I don't know nothing.
Here's a point as well, actually, from the latest Jimmy High Roller video.
Shouts out Jimmy.
Jimmy. I think it was a hot take on there. Does the regular season now mean pretty much nothing? Because you could see how entertaining the playoffs are, that the regular season is pointless, really. It's sort of just a warm-up. Because either you really go for it and you try and get in the playoffs, or you completely tank it and don't even try. And in between that, you try not to get injured and you just don't really play. And you
I wouldn't say it's pointless, because it has been a really good indicator about how matchups are going to go. If you look at the entirety of the regular season, but this has always been a debate for the regular season, because there are, like, we take Jimmy Butler for instance. He's always been a player that, like, he doesn't take it easy, but he doesn't go all out for the regular season. But
that helps his
But there's pros
legacy.
and cons to that, because there's also been a massive rise of injuries.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for the players not to go insane in the membrane throughout the entire regular season, but also it's not as entertaining. And because we've seen the potential entertainment value, I can see what you mean.
That was the take.
But at the same time, I don't think they'll make it to the playoffs, because they'll be too injury riddled if they actually go as hard as they would in the playoffs.
I know, because the point was, like, players like Tracy McGrady and Steve Nash and stuff, right? Steve Nash, back-to-back MVPs. I don't think he ever got past the first round in the playoffs or something like that. And same with Tracy McGrady. But you remember these players because how great they were clearly in the regular season, because they didn't even play the playoffs in their whole career. You won't get those players anymore that... they'll only be really measured on their playoff performances.
And is that the fault of the players, or is that the fault of the media for the extreme emphasis only on the postseason and championships?
But that's my point.
No matter how good someone does.
What's the point of the regular season, really, for them to even go that hard? Because what do you get from it?
Well, that'd be the players' reasoning.
No, that'd be anyone's.
Like, well...
Because here's my pitch, right?
Just to get rid of the regular season?
No, I don't think get rid of it. I think you make it more entertaining, you make it more legacy built. There's just more stakes on it, I think, what you need. Because if you look at it from an external point of view, if I looked at it, it's a big league table. So you got the first, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's obviously where you finish in the playoffs. But why doesn't first be given, instead of the conference finals, and that's where you win, or you got through the conference finals, you lift that trophy. Why don't you win the East? You've finished first. That means you've won that title. You know what I mean?
So you're saying have a Prem and have a championship, basically.
Maybe something for it. But at the end of the day, maybe people don't care about it in that sense. But
this is the thing.
But there's more legacy in that.
Isn't that what they're trying to do with the cup?
Yeah, which I think is good.
And then everyone just completely discounts. Because, again, if we were looking at it the way you're pitching it, the Knicks should have been the favourites to win the chip because they won the cup. And look at what's happened, right? So, but no one looks at it that way. I think that's a media issue. I genuinely think the write-off of anything that isn't a overwhelming championship win at any stage has really fucked up the bag for any player, any story, any legacy. Because if it doesn't end up in a championship, it was a waste. And that is Skip Bayless, that is Stephen A, that's like all of the like classic ESPN and other lot that just do nothing but essentially gargle Jordan's balls, and that is what it is. It's a protection of the old guard, which ruins it for everyone else, in my opinion. Because I love players like Steve Nash. It's debatable whether he deserved one of the MVPs. It should have gone to Bron, but in general,
it should have gone to Shaq. Bron, no, he wasn't even there, really, was he?
No, Bron got robbed for one of them. It should have been his. I'll pull up the stats.
Let Steve have one.
I said it's one of them. Like,
and Shaq has taken that
Steve
one.
Nash is an incredible player.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is the thing. It's so hard to talk about legacies when the only conversation is championships, right? I still think Steve Nash is probably the best, or if not second best, pure point guard that ever existed.
See, I think my point is that there is a lot of individual things that, like MVP, Rookie of the Year, assist, Sixth Man of the Year, all of these scoring, they're all individual titles that can happen within the regular season, yes. But what does the team gain from it, except from, we finished second? Like, you could go back and award every single team that finished first that title, and then you could use that as, I got my team to, LeBron's got 14 first place finishes in the East or something. Do you know what I mean? So then they get a title. It's something else. I feel like it's just when you just die on that championship title. The teams. No, the legacy of the team.
If I'm looking at it, because we've got, let's say, the media, the players, and we've got us, right, in 3 different buckets.
Yeah.
I think taking away the emphasis on just championships would be beneficial, because really, that then only it narrows down the entirety of the NBA and NBA history to like 5 people, like maybe 10 if you extend it, right? Which is a really reductive argument on an entire league. But again, the sole source of that problem is the media. I don't think people, like the people get sucked into the narrative on it, because whatever algorithm they're on, they'll be on different sides of arguments, so on and so forth. So like, how would you even go about changing that to take the emphasis away from championships and actually look at accolades from both a team perspective and an individual perspective? It might be that the awards themselves, being individual, 6-man, scorer, that kind of thing, is the thing that sets you on the path to thinking about individuals as the only important thing in a team. Because there's always been this narrative of like, LeBron does this, Jordan does that, KD does this. And it's like, it seems to be just like them. And then we're never talking about the team at large. I think, and maybe this would be the good thing the Knicks can do, because you know that's not just a Jalen Brunson thing. It's an entire team effort. You can see them all pulling in, and even the Spurs to a certain extent is a very team effort. But the narrative is solely focused on sometimes just Brunson or sometimes just Wemby, and it's a reductive argument. But qualified, like fair arguments don't get clicks compared to Wemby fumbled the bag, and I think that's the issue.
And that's what it'll come down to. Yeah, in the end of it.
But I don't know how you change that.
What do you get from coming first at the minute anyway, really?
The championship? Are you talking about regular season?
Yeah, what do you get? You get to play at home.
The NBA Cup, if you win that.
No, I'm on about finishing first. And then obviously
the best record, I guess.
That's it. That's all you're going for. It's just like, and then you can get swept in the first round by the 8th seed.
And there's kind of a title in that, you know, if you, but that's normally
it's a good
that's
indicator.
An all-time record. Like if you get a better record than the fucking 20-something Warriors, then that's like the peak. But that's the only thing you can really achieve.
That's the only thing you will go for, and that's and
that's really
insane.
Hard.
Of course,
it's almost impossible.
It's only happened once, and then the balls before that, you just keep going for that.
That's what I mean. The NBA, it's a whole NBA culture. It's just wrapped in historical precedent, and if you don't beat that record, you're nothing. That's what it feels like sometimes. It's so all or nothing.
But that's
it's a very American mentality.
Well, award the team for finishing first.
But I think if you made that, they just aren't going to care. Like the NBA Cup. I didn't even remember the Knicks won it because they don't bring it up ever again. You know, like it's a culture thing. It's baked into the NBA at large and how the media talks about it.
No, I understand, because in football there are sometimes too many cups to go by. But there's also more chances for you to have a good season or win something as a collective. It's not just die on that last part of this, we have to win the championship, otherwise.
Yeah. Do you see the same thing in football? Unless someone's made a drastic mistake. So let's say Messi playing for Argentina, they lose 3-2. Messi scored 2, but they still lost by 3. Is Messi still blamed for the loss in football?
Yeah. Not probably now because he's older, but when he's in his prime. Yeah. That would be his, because that. But you're comparing that to, that is the playoffs. The World Cup is the playoffs.
Yeah, but any tournament, like let's say if Haaland had the most goals, but Man City didn't win the Prem, is he blamed for not winning the Prem?
No, not really.
And we can see that, and we see that kind of a lot where like there'll be really, like Luka's perfect example. Didn't he win the scoring title?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but like he could probably score the most in the regular season.
He came
because
fourth.
They didn't win the championship, it was all for nothing, and it's his fault.
Yeah.
Even though he was injured, right? So I don't really know how you change that. If I'm honest with you, that's been like an eternal problem, and it sucks. And I think it's unfair, and we could be looking at things better. But the world's about clicks and ratings. How do we counter that?
I just was thinking, because I've been really invested in the playoffs, but the whole regular season's it's too many games for one. Like there's too many to keep up with.
There's been a case to reduce regular season games, but what happens is historical precedent kicks in. Anytime someone makes an argument, and I agree, I think it should be less games because it reduces injury.
Yeah, I know. But then you're obviously comparing to before, aren't you? Just the world.
Yeah, and then it goes, well, it was unfair on all those other players there to do it, and it makes change impossible.
And then whatever happens next, it's like, wow.
So the only method is to let all the old
people... You
only
played 30 games this year.
You have to let all the old people die first, and then you can make changes.
Then we'll be fair.
Seem familiar world.
I don't know, it just seems like, how do you make it more interesting, though? But then without taking the traditions away, I don't know.
It's really hard, because someone will, even if you're not taking a tradition away, someone will make the case that you are.
Yeah,
and I think that's the tricky bit. That's what's hard. Because I'd actually make a case that Adam Silver's been a really good commissioner, made more good changes than David Stern has. Anti-tanking rules, introducing NBA Cup, that kind of thing. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure about the game threshold you have to play for certain awards, because that's tricky, because injuries are more prevalent than they've ever been before, and there's still too many games currently compared to the pace that NBA games play at. Again, because of things like zone defenses weren't allowed back in like Jordan's time and stuff like that. It was always, it had to be 1-to-1. So the intensity and different defenses you can play requires more physical effort. The pace of the game has sped up way more because of that, and the set pieces have gone away. Like when we grew up, there was still like a lot of half-court basketball. Like that's how we were taught. As soon as you get over that halfway line, slow it down, run the set, get it done. And it feels a lot of the time, some teams win purely in the transition. Never stop running.
Bang, bang, bang.
And that needs to be accounted for somehow.
Why?
As in, like, to counter the effect on the players. So you should allow your players to rest more or have less games because of the pace of games and how the world changes.
But maybe that helps them win more games because they're tiring out the other team. That's like the whole tactic, that they push it more.
And this is why nothing will ever change. Double advocates like you. I don't know the answer, though.
Is there that misconception? You know, like in football, they're like, oh, they're Americanizing our sport, and they're bringing all these. Is it the same the other way? Like,
Europeanizing our sport.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, leave our sport alone. Like, we like how it is. We like the regular season. But it was just a hot take on that Jimmy High Roller video where they said that the regular season just feels a bit obsolete until the playoffs, because that's where it really begins, the competitive nature. And I do think you said that Wemby or somebody will break Michael Jordan's 63-point game.
I remember him saying he'll beat Wilt's 100-point game.
Yeah, sorry, you said that. And I can see that in the regular season, but I can't see anybody.
Well, he hasn't played
MJ's.
the Wizards in a while, so that's why.
But you can't play the Wizards in the playoffs.
No, you've got to do that in the reg.
So what I'm saying is no one's going to beat...
Did Will do that in the playoffs?
No, he did it in the regular season.
Like, God damn. Yeah.
No, MJ's is the highest for 63 points. I don't see anybody getting close to that because the playoffs is so competitive.
And one of the things, right, the NBA today does not work like it did in Jordan's time. Like, Jordan had loads of the scoring titles, but often in the years he had the scoring titles, he had the most taken and most missed shots in the league to go along with it. There is no team in the NBA that is going to win now through pure volume shooting through one person. I don't care who you are, because the Lakers tried it with Luka. I think he has like 70% ball domination throughout the entire team. And I think Luka could score 50 every night, and I still think they'd lose against teams like the Knicks and the Spurs. Because it's just team ball will just mess you up no matter how many shots you take. So they're apples to oranges comparisons. So maybe that record never gets beaten because you literally can't play that anymore. That's my take on it.
But then maybe something needs to change.
What though?
I don't know. But you said like don't change it, but it has changed. So why can you not change it?
What did I say not to change?
Well, no, you just said that people will be like, don't change it. Traditionalists.
Yeah.
But it's a different game, really, isn't it? Like you said, the rules are different, things are different.
Yeah, but trying to get people to see eye to eye with you. Like there's someone viciously like typing right now about how I'm wrong
I'm not trying to say. Maybe it is the best way. Maybe there isn't a better way. I don't have the answers right now either. I'm not saying like... I did say something about making...
To try and make the regular season more impactful, I genuinely think doing less games would help, because scarcity can actually make things a bit more exciting. I think, weirdly, you'd actually be able to create more hype around games. So maybe they need to take a leaf out of the WWE's book, start running promos. Do less games, you run proper storylines and promos between each team beforehand. It sounds dumb, but we do it in the playoffs. right? If you actually sit there before a playoff game starts and they'll go through like the history of the last these two teams clashed. Wemby said this. You can start pulling out all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah.
So that could help. Right? It also help the podcast rounds and everything because we get to talk about the upcoming matchups between X and Y.
But there's always storylines. You can always do that.
Yeah, but they're usually self-created after the fact. Whereas like you could actually...
Because the interest isn't there.
Yeah. Well, if you do less games, give the time to create that interest, you might be able to. Now, I'm not saying anything drastic. I'm saying, like, what is it, 82 at the moment?
It's 82, yeah.
Yeah, drop it down to like 75, 70.
Someone did come up with a really good formula, I think.
You really need to sit down and think it out.
Yeah. Without taking too far, you don't go too far the other way that now it's half the game, so you've got half of the accolades. And
would there ever be a way to decrease the amount of regular season, but increase the amount of postseason games?
You'd have to just have everybody in the postseason, maybe. I don't know.
Or do like a crazy sweepstakes for like a shittier team to be able to get into the playoffs, like during the playoffs.
Well, they kind of have, haven't they? That's why they add this play-in. That you can finish 9th and 10th and still get in there because you have to battle out for the 8th.
Yeah, and I don't think they hype that enough because like...
Well, at the same time, though, what about all the other teams in years gone by that finished 9th and 10th? Were like, they brought this in a few years ago. We maybe won a championship back in the day.
What we're supposed to like? We can't just sit there going we can't make any changes because you didn't get the changes. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, it just can't happen. Things got to move. Things got to change. You just bitch about it in your wheelchair. I don't give a shit. Like,
and the only way it will change is if the money,
if it would make more money.
Exactly. If the money's getting hindered, that's why changes come in because the money is getting touched. It's getting hurt.
Or like a pre-playoff extra new trade deadline. Like, as soon as the playoffs are locked in, there's like 2 days where people can make swaps and do some absolute mad shit. So it would throw the game plans you've made. Like, one team could just like swap fucking Luka for Wemby, and it'd be like, whoa, fuck, and then you have to go into the. But like, obviously, I'm not sure teams would want to do that because of how much they've practiced and like locked in with their team.
Yeah, think about cohesion. Like, that just goes out the window if you just bring in.
But I don't know, do something crazy. Just really like fuck everyone's season up at me.
Nah, that sounds crazy. That sounds too much like you just pressing randomize
sweepstake ass. Fucking take. I don't know
either. But
it begs the question: is the system we have that wrong? If we can't think.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said. Like, maybe it's not actually broken. It's just we're trying to.
The one thing is broken is the media cycle.
Yeah, okay.
I think we need to. Not oust, but we need to like rein in how people like Stephen A and Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp and all that. I think they need to change the way they talk about players.
Really? Why?
Because they're the ones that really turn the culture into this all or nothing championships or bust. Literally, in their eyes, if you're not winning a chip, you're a scrub. Yeah. And we just know that's not true.
You get
and it devalues everything else in the league. They change the way they talk about it. We change the way we think about it.
Yeah, but then it's like, good job. Maybe next year. It's a bit like participation awards, sort of goes down that route. It's like, you did your best, buddy.
But isn't that the original point you were making, though?
No, it's being competitive. It's about winning. You want to win. And that is the only thing you can win at the end of the day, really, as a collective. Depending on who you are. Like, yes, okay, let's just say the Knicks got to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost. They're like, that's a good season for the Knicks. But it's, you lost. Unless you're winning in the end game, what's the point? It doesn't matter or anything. It doesn't matter how good LeBron James has been for the last 23 years when he's only won 4. Because that's what at the end of the day, that's what people will come down the argument
to. But here's where that kicks in, though. Because it's then those kind of things often pinned on an individual player instead of a team. Yeah, but that's where I think the change needs to come in, though. Because we're clearly in an era where teams matter more than individual superstars. But we've kept the OG method because that's how a lot of offenses used to run through one player. And because that's been kept from the 90s, 80s, 90s and 1000s, and we're in this like collaborative cohesion matters more than hero ball era, that's what's not translating over.
How is it not though? It's the same now. Because all we've said today is that it's Brunson's team and it's Wemby's team.
Yeah, but that's the point. We shouldn't be saying that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Look at the man in the mirror, James.
No, but what I'm trying to say is
This is you doing
no,
this
when
as
we
well.
were applauding the Knicks, we were talking about how the fact that their team cohesion is amazing, the way they play off each other, their chemistry is next level.
Yeah.
That's why they're winning. That's why they're having this unprecedented thing. And that is why they win. It's not down to just Jalen. Even though he'll be blamed if it goes wrong,
And
but
he'll
the
be-
team will be praised if they win.
No, he'll be praised. He'll be praised more. What did
he'll
we
be
say at the
both.
start? He'll get
He'll
the
be
key
both.
to the city. He'll get this.
Yeah,
he'll get
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look,
But
and Wemby doesn't win.
But also that's unfair because he wouldn't have been able to do it without his team.
Well, that's
And
not
it's
the
what I mean.
point, though, is it?
No, but
at the end of the
point
day,
I'm making is that it's ingrained in us so much. I don't even know I'm doing it. I just did it a minute ago.
you
But
did.
like, this
And
is
like I
why
said,
it has to come from top down media change.
because if Wemby goes and wins it, we look at. Well,
It's the
if
Spurs.
There you go.
See?
The Spurs go win it. We go. Wemby's now on to become the greatest player of all time because that's what we die on. We don't think about the greatest team of all time or anything like that.
Yeah, but I think this is what we need to change. I think we need to take a little bit from how football looks at it. Because I don't like Arsenal still gets the credit for Thierry Henry's like undefeatables. For the most part.
Invincibles, yeah.
Invincibles, that's it. So, I think we need to be doing that more. It needs to be teams over individual players.
I
Because
think you get that a little bit with the anomalies like the Warriors and the 96 Bulls, etc. Like they don't come around that often. The Invincibles don't come around. It's only been happened once.
Yeah.
So you're using, but at the same time, what happens in football is it doesn't matter if you have Messi, Ronaldo, whoever, right? You go, 2010s Chelsea, we won the league. We don't go. Drogba and the team won the league. Whereas you'd go with the NBA, you'd go. You remember when like Michael and the Bulls won in '96?
This is my point.
LeBron and the
I
Heat.
think that's the switch. That's the switch.
Is it
we
because
need.
there's not? You can be a little bit more. It is. There's less players. It's more ball dominance.
Yes, one player can make more of a difference.
Yeah.
But we've seen basically there's only been like a couple of times where a super team has worked. KD going to the Golden State, LeBron in Miami. Apart from that. Maybe the OG Celtics, right? Apart from that, every other super team's been a complete failure. And it's because it's team ball.
Yep.
It's team ball. And I think the NBA needs to start referring more to teams than individuals.
Wow.
And it's so ingrained in us that we can't even stop doing that.
Let's go. Wait. Because this is literally how you will do it. Okay. So let's just give me 2 seconds. Let me just pull this stuff up.
You're going to pull up a direct quote from me.
No. Yeah, can you imagine?
I'm just saying I'm not sure I'm not guilty of it because...
I'm just kidding. Yeah, we all are. That's my point, right?
Yeah,
so if you go back in the last 10 years, so you had SGA's OKC won it last year. That's how you do it. Tatum's Boston Celtics won it the year before. Jokic's Nuggets the one before.
Yeah.
Curry's 2022 team. Then you go Giannis's Bucks. You go LeBron's Lakers Bubbles. You go Kawhi Leonard's Raptors.
Yeah.
Then you go, that's the Durant Warriors.
Yeah. And
Curry's Lakers.
what will happen is...
Do you know what I mean? This is all...
And there's already...
Except for maybe San Antonio. You'd probably say Duncan still, but
Yeah, Duncan's still the best player. But like, when you go through that list, right, if the second best player on that team
is close, maybe
is usually relatively close to the first person, and there's no way they win without that person. But the problem is if they win, the first person gets credit, and if they lose, the first person gets all the blame. And it's just like if you remove the second best player from any of those teams, none of them win.
True.
Apart from maybe you can make a case maybe for OKC, but obviously they didn't make it past. They didn't have J-Dub, and they couldn't get to the finals this year. They made a good run without their second best player.
Yeah.
And this is why it always infuriated me the Jordan LeBron debates, because I think LeBron's the only player you could argue that has dragged people that have no business being in the finals that far because he's so multi-skilled. But that's a separate thing. I won't do that today. But yeah, I think there's.
What about Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks?
Yeah, that was incredible.
There you go. There's one.
There's one what?
Just an example.
Of an
People that had
of a great team.
They didn't have any business being there.
Yeah, they did. They were actually really good during the regular season.
Yeah,
they have to be in the playoffs, first of all.
Well, they won it, yeah. What do you mean?
But anyway. But that's what happened. Super team, bad cohesion, but they managed to go over it. But in general, yeah, I think we need to start paying more attention to teams, because as soon as if you do that experiment, remove second best player from every team that's won in the last 10 years, none of them win.
Take away the sixth best player.
They still might not win.
They need the credit. Like Steve Kerr hitting that shot.
So we
like
need to stop
90s.
giving people individual credit for like everything in the NBA in how we talk about it in general. And that applies to LeBron. I'll stop doing it. And it applies to Jordan, and we'll stop doing it for that.
But we won't.
That is fair.
No one will stop doing this. This will be. That's what makes it fun.
This is what happens. You can't apply logic in emotional situations because it becomes emotional. Like I'm literally sitting up, and I'm like, "Fucking LeBron James, LeBron James."
But then, who's to say LeBron would even get to any of these places without the coaches he had? They're all different coaches, yes, but still.
I mean, that's probably the clearest case of LeBron coaches his own teams, basically. But
well, but how are you saying that? How do you know it wasn't a different perspective? You know, he had Spoelstra 1 year and then went.
Spo was probably his only good coach.
I know, but then you know what I'm just saying is that someone else gave him a different perspective and then made him get that team.
All I'm getting is Darvin Ham. Hey, salute. You'll get him out there. Fuck off.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, you know. It's always a big what if. It just makes no sense, but I feel like we didn't answer our own question again. And we just went off.
Well, I think it was too big a question to even ask. Knicks in 6, baby. Let's go. Hour later.
Mate, yeah.
Get there.
Jesus.
This was the NBA special today.
It was. We did have a few things we wanted to speak about, but
we'll
I don't know.
Have to save it for another episode.
Yeah, because we could talk about the NBA all year long.
Oh, yeah.
But we couldn't because it ends soon. Do you ever get this fever, actually, though? Because I've got NBA fever now. I think this happens to me a lot. I don't know if it happens to you.
Every time Wimbledon comes along, I see you with a tennis racket out.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know what it is. Is it the season? Obviously helps because
summer
I ain't going out.
Summer vibe. Yeah. You've been getting out and training more in general, doing loads of different sports. Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, but then I have that same fever about football during the winter months and stuff because that's pretty much all that's happening, really.
Yeah,
like,
it's something got to have something to do.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I guess so they do.
Nothing to do when you're in our village.
Do you know what I mean, though? I get like, you know, you just get fevers of whatever's going on. Like in April, I'll get WrestleMania fever and the Royal Rumble in January and stuff. But you know,
I get that with games.
I can't commit
to games or
to
sports.
Just everything. Like, it's too much to like.
Why do you have to decide, man?
Just, you know, we have a podcast about movies, TV, games, sports, headlines of all sorts. And like,
well, we do talk about like as soon as the NBA's over, we'll be forced to talk about nothing but movies and games.
Yeah, it's like we're into the sports.
It's got to take priority. It's the freaking playoffs, bro. They'll forgive us.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Y'all forgive us, right? Right?
Yeah, it's like the last 6 episodes have been NBA and football. We didn't talk about football really this episode. But we will soon because the World Cup. I'm going to have World Cup fever.
Yeah. To be fair,
do you know what I mean?
You get individual. Do you have a bet to win the World Cup?
I have
no idea what the squads are like.
I have a sick feeling in my stomach.
No, it's not France, is it?
That Portugal might go and win it, and then Ronaldo gets that World Cup.
Speed will be insufferable.
Oh my god! I can see it. I can literally see it. And I don't think he would be. Oh no, I can't say that. We just had a whole debate about team cohesion. So it's not like, you know, 2014 Ronaldo.
To be fair, I think there can be an exception to that if like one player just looks like they do it all for that particular game.
Of course.
And if it's the game that closes something out, like if we look back, because if you analysed it by series or by like by games or whatever, there would definitely be like, okay, Jordan won that, LeBron won that, you know, that kind of thing.
The clutch element comes into it.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, no matter how good a play you draw up, someone's got to take the shot.
I mean, even Mbappe in the last World Cup final scoring a hat-trick, didn't win, but like you could see it was like him.
Incredible.
Pulling them back.
Yeah.
So there is that individuality in there. But yeah, I have a sick feeling in my stomach that Portugal are going to do it because then that would even the playing field and then Messi-Ronaldo debate because of Messi again, literally. I don't know, something in me that, just a crazy world we're living at the minute with Arsenal winning their first Premier League. You know, the Knicks possibly winning their first championship in 50 years. Maybe it's coming home.
It might be coming home, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe it's coming. Maybe, just hear me out here. Maybe it's coming home.
It hasn't come home in a long time.
Too long.
It's really uncomfortable.
You know the infamous "It's coming home." There's a lyric in there. It's like 30 years of hurt because that was made in '96, and then that's been 30 years since then.
Oh.
It's 60 years since that 30 years of hurt lyric hit. So we've had another 30 years.
Got to update the song for real.
Yeah, I think they do, to be honest. But
oof.
Yeah, well, you know what? Next week, I think it starts very soon. I don't know the exact date because that's just.
Have we done sweepstakes or anything yet?
We haven't. We should.
Or at least do some kind of predictions.
Yeah, next episode we'll do the World Cup predictions. We'll go through the same way we did the NBA. We'll go through the tallies and etc. We'll piece it together and we'll come up with ours and then. Yeah.
See what's what.
We did say we were going to put like a cheeky fiver on the Spurs, so it was lucky we didn't do that in the end.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think to put the Spurs, if you'd have made the bet before they went up against OKC.
Well, no, we would have done it at the start.
Oh, shit.
But then I don't know how the odds would have been. We would have put
up just the win, not the.
To win the whole thing.
We would have bet series by series. Don't bet.
No.
Bet responsibly.
It's just, talking about who we thought would win. We'd be getting close.
We should have looked back how much money we would have made.
Again, the odds probably weren't that great. They're probably the second favourites to win the whole thing.
Were they?
At the start, yeah. OKC were probably the favourites, and then.
Were they really? Yeah. Okay. Fair.
We would have had more on the Knicks. 100%.
Yeah, that would have been.
But the World Cup's different. There's favourites, but it's just it's not 7-game series. It's one game sometimes. You know what I mean? So it can
I've got a feeling about France.
Oh, that's very interesting.
I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, they probably are the favourites. So.
Oh, really? Well, that wasn't very good.
That's why. It's like, oh, really? So you're an OKC guy. Yeah. I have a feeling about OKC.
I don't know. They just strike me as a really good team.
But yeah, tune in next week then when we do our World Cup predictions and who we think is going to win. And it might be coming home.
It's coming home. Speaking of coming home, come home, subscribe, like, comment. Terrible segue. We're trying to grow the channel to 1,000. We're 1,000. I wish 112 subscribers. So thank you to every single one that subscribed, and we shall catch you on the next one.
Peace.